Okay, we're live.
I've got 2 o'clock. Does everyone agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Based on that, let me call the Ways and Means Committee to order. We have 2 minutes to approve. First is Ways and Means Committee meeting of May 26th. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second. Anybody have any changes or corrections they need to highlight?
No
No,
changes.
Chris.
Yes?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second, we have a special call meeting for the Ways and Means as of July 7th, 2020. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any changes, comments, corrections?
No
None.
changes.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have no old business. We do have new business. Consideration for recommendation to town council for approval of the contract amendment to Phillips and Jordan. Brian, I believe you're going to take this.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Just some quick background. Being a coastal community, the town of Key Island recognizes the threat of hurricanes annually that can greatly impact our island. Because of this, it's important that the town has appropriate procedures in place to ensure a speedy recovery after a hurricane or a natural disaster. The town has, since 2015, held an as-needed contract with Philip and Jordan to provide relief to the island after a disaster. While this contract has not been activated yet, it's still very important that we have a group that can help us in this way constantly. Our current contract with Philip and Jordan is primarily for post-disaster debris removal. However, there are a number of secondary resources that come with the contract to include temporary shelter, climate control bunks, marine vessels, and a temporary bridge. The contract again went into effect in 2015 as a 5-year contract with the option for 2 one-year extensions. Town staff is here today to request that the Ways and Means Committee recommend to Town Council that the town enter into the first extension of the contract with Philip and Jordan. There is no immediate change to budget or financial data, as this is an as-needed contract and costs will incur should this contract be activated.
Okay. Housekeeping issue. Keely, are you still on the call?
Yes, she is.
She just muted.
I notice I'm not on video, which I'm not particularly bothered by, but it tells me I can't be on video because the host no longer allows it. There we
Sorry,
go.
I
Thank you.
just asked you to start your video.
There you go. You're back, Chris.
I'm back. Okay, any questions for Brian on the Phillips and Jordan? I think we've all talked about this issue over the last couple of years. And this is simply an update of the contract. Is that correct, Brian?
Yes, this is the amendments that we agreed on last year remain in this contract as well. This is just going to be an extension, the first extension that we'll enter into.
In order to get any further conversation going, can I have a motion to recommend to town council?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or anyone have any questions for Brian or Stephanie that they need to put on the table?
No, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, I am too. All in favor?
Aye.
Chairman's report, none. Treasurer's report. Dorota,
Yes,
you take over for that, please?
yes, sorry, I'm gonna share the report with you very quick. Sorry. So anyway, I'm gonna share it once we let me do it, but this is pretty much the balance sheet and the budget report. Are you able to see it?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Keely, now it says host disable participating screen sharing. Can you do something? So this is pretty much, this is just cash basis. I want to emphasize that because those numbers will change, and the goal is to have the final CAFRA report presented to you in November meeting. So
You don't mean November.
Rhoda, is there much though outstanding that would change these numbers very much?
yes, well, the numbers will, can you, now can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So just very we can start with the balance sheet, and our total fund balances as of now are about 19.9 million. Of that amount, about 9.3 million is undesignated general fund balance, but this is before the transfers. So I'm going to make the transfers to the capital fund for the emergency fund and for the capital projects after we collect all the revenues.
What amount are those?
Pretty much P&L. Our total revenues are about 8.6 million, which is 1.7 less than we budgeted, but we are projecting to collect another 500. And the numbers that are highlighted or shaded are the numbers that we're still collecting, and we're gonna accrue the money. We just received the check for the state accommodation tax. It's another $390,000 there, for
That
example,
covered what period?
for the fourth quarter.
So when we did our budget, we were kind of suggesting that fourth quarter was going to be really ugly, about 10%.
Yes,
if I
so,
remember
yeah,
right.
yes.
What did we end up at, you know?
So we projected during, we were projecting about 8.5 million in total revenues. And we're gonna end up probably with 9.1, 9.2.
So we were projecting revenue down almost 2 million, and it sounds like half of that has come back.
Yes. One thing that, I'm sorry. So,
Sorry, just following up on what Craig asked. So the shortfall is quite a bit less than we had feared. What are the main factors there to make the shortfall less than feared?
well, we project pretty much that we're gonna collect 10% what we have collected in a prior year in that quarter. And it ended up being more. So pretty much all the local option sales, all the accommodation taxes, except for the county, we're gonna collect much more than we projected.
Do you know a percentage? You know, if we said 10% is what the budget was based on, or the revision, was it 50%?
Well, I don't have the final, like I said, we still get checks. So we just got the state accommodation. So that's the only number that there will be final. But probably at the town council, I can give you an idea, or around that time, better idea what we end up collecting. It's not 10%, it's more than that.
So was that, would you say that 10% number was probably just very, very conservative, or has something happened here?
No, it was very conservative. You know, at that point, we didn't know how long the island will be closed and what to expect.
That makes sense.
What's going to happen once the rentals reopen. It ended up being pretty busy right after they reopen. And the occupancy in all the rentals are very high right now, or it was in water. So it was just, we were very conservative at that time.
Well, it can't be all rental because the rentals were shut down for 2 of those months entirely. So we got one of them back.
Well, it's rental and well, hospitality, local option, but most of it is rental.
Okay.
It wasn't the whole 2 months.
Yeah, we
Was
really
it?
opened May 15th.
It was about, it was a month at least. Okay, go ahead.
6 weeks, half of it, half the quarter.
And one thing in other revenues, we are actually have two items that were unbudgeted in just one time, and this is the reimbursement for FEMA for year and the settlement for Webster Rogers. So that difference right there is pretty much just because of those two budgeted revenues.
Okay.
As far as the expenditures, we already talked about that they pretty much in line in what we budgeted, with the exception of those couple of items that were approved after the budget was adopted. So the main thing is the Parkway. There's about 1.6 million over, I mean, it wasn't budgeted, so it's over the budget. There is overage in consulting line item, and that's related to the contract with HRNA, and also the code enforcement, after our code enforcement. Those are negative variances. They are offset a little bit by the positive variance in the tourism and recreation. That number will change though, because like I said, we just received the state accommodation tax that will pay CVB now. And so that's what 30, like about 100,000 is going to go to CVB. So that number will be reduced for that. And but because we didn't have any Arts Council events, so that's a big reduction in that. And also just remember, we have all $765,000 in cleanup costs after the hurricane Dorian.
Dorota, just so are we saying here in simplest terms, if we take out the one-time investment for the Parkway, $1.5 million, then the town, once we're all said and done, will probably have a surplus of revenue over expenses ex the Parkway of, I don't know, $700,000 or so, round numbers.
Yeah, if we
'Cause that 8.7 there would turn up to be more like what, 9.1, 9.2, you said?
yes.
And the expenses 10 million minus 1.5, 8.5. So just round numbers.
Mhm.
Here, let me,
That's
I was
really-
trying just
I
to
mean,
do-
that's really not so bad, right?
No, it's not bad at all. It's a pretty good quarter, or the whole 12 months. Like I said, some of those numbers though will still change a little bit. The one that I've highlighted, but that's not going to be a big increases.
Mhm.
So that's.
Okay, any other questions for Dorota? Thank you very much. The numbers certainly are better than what they were expected to be.
Yeah, and I just want to mention one more thing, that I scheduled the auditors. They're going to start the field work. We don't know yet if they're going to come here or we'll send them everything September 8th. So, well, by that time we'll have closed and collected.
Dorota, I just have one quick question. For the infrastructure, the 1.5 million, the 200 that we've collected already from the county for grant, is that included in other revenue?
No, it's actually, I'm offsetting it right there. It's
Oh,
offsetting that cost. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. I think more pay application that is for June that we haven't included in that number yet, but it hasn't been sent for payment yet. So we'll have one more for the Parkway.
Yeah, we may have two more, but yeah.
Oh yeah, but for this one is for June. Like the one for July, we may not accrue that one, but
Yes, okay.
will change. Mhm. So-
I'm sorry, could you go over that again? I might have missed something. Did you indicate we have additional payments on the Parkway it's still due?
there, I know there's one more application for June because we haven't paid the June one.
We have still about outstanding with them in terms of costs, about $450,000 remaining. So when it's all said and done, it's paid out. It's going to be, I think, about 2.1 million, and 200,000 we've already collected from the county. I submitted for the grant that we received. I submitted that and we got reimbursed back from that. And then we have 450,000 still, and I'm in the process of trying to get all of those payouts so I can submit that for reimbursement as well.
And will those?
Stephanie, have we gotten any of the reimbursement from the county on the turn lanes?
No, that's what I'm saying. In regards to the turn lanes, I'm in the process. I'm waiting on some of the pay apps because they submitted some pay apps that is not correct, and I caught the error. So they're having to resubmit me the pay app so I can send it into the county.
Will those additional bills go into the 2020 numbers, or will they go into the 2021 numbers?
As Dorota was saying, anything that we have paid out to the end of this month, which I think we may have one more or two more, pay up 6 and 7 will come out for June, and then any that they bill us for July, starting in July, will come out of the current fiscal budget. Is that correct, Dorota?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we may have just one app out of the fiscal year 21 budget, and then 2 apps, pay apps out of the fiscal year 20 budget.
Thank you.
Has there been any more discussion about the county taxes?
Nothing more than what the mayor shared with you all. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I mean, Marianne, we have an agreement that hasn't changed. And we won't know until, you won't know until, you know, sometime next year, whether that
Right.
agreement will result in us getting any payout or not.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Any committee member comments? Marianne, if you have anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, Klaus?
Nope.
Mr. Mayor?
I just got one thing. As you all know, at the last town council meeting, we talked about the sea level rise work, and the next step, which was to work with Kika and the team that we've been working with on some focus groups and a resident property owner survey. Lucas Hernandez, who's Kika's resilience coordinator, is going to take the lead on that project.
Mhm.
And since the town is co-sponsoring it, unless someone later gives me an email or a call and has some concerns, my intent is for the town to share the cost of Lucas for that part of the project that we're supporting, and it's going to be less than $8,000 or $9,000. That's all I have.
Mayor, with regard to that, are we having somebody on that committee? I know Kika had asked for somebody to be dedicated to work on that committee.
If they haven't told me. Who have they asked?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh.
They asked when,
Marianne, we do have,
Who do we
do have on the committee, John Taylor is on the committee, and Jim Jordan also.
okay.
Yeah, we have staff. We've got the staff involved in it. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking whether we had any council members or other people on it. Stephanie will be supporting him with all the communication activity and with the
Okay.
with some of the communication and with actually doing the survey instrument.
Great.
And then John Taylor's working with them on other aspects.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. We have no additional business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Chris, one other thing I want to bring up.
Almost got away.
Yeah, sorry. Just in case anybody gets any issues, I've asked Stephanie to, along with Brian, to do some research. We have got a trash problem right now on the island.
Yep.
There is more trash being generated right now than we can handle. Not only our usual issue with Sora Rail, but we've got regimes that are being overwhelmed. We have the beach that is being overwhelmed right now. It's a combination of everything from just so many people, homes that are filled to capacity. I suspect that because of COVID, people are buying more groceries, more stuff in, more boxes, more
Or
Amazon. But we are inundated. The beach is particularly a problem. As fast as Carolina Waste can empty stuff, it's overflowing. And we're also frankly being impacted just by behavior. People are basically just throwing stuff everywhere, regardless of what the impact is. The beach is becoming a mess. So Stephanie and Brian are looking at some options, everything from on the beach, whether we in the short term can do some things like building some more, just putting more trash containers out there. We talked about doing more runs, having Carolina Waste do more pickups, but that's really not feasible. Those trucks can't get up and down the beach late in the day with all the people out there. I've even asked them to look at the potential that on the beach we actually invest and take that over ourselves and see what kind of capital and people investment that would take. So if you get any emails or calls from residents, property owners complaining or concerned about those issues, we're equally. It's just getting crazy. So they're going to look at some options. I don't think we'll have anything before next week's. I'm sure we won't before next week's council meeting, but we're going to have to look at some options. In addition, I've asked, I think we're going to just need to inundate Sora Rail with cameras everywhere because we can't control, again, the behavior of people. They're throwing things around. So,
Mayor, excuse me, on Sora Rail,
yep.
we lease that area from Kika?
Stephanie, I don't know if we actually leave. I think they loan it to us. I don't think we don't pay them for it,
We
but
don't
it
pay
is.
them, they just allow us to use
Yeah,
it.
we just
Is there
have
any
to do.
chance that area could be expanded?
No, you've got the Berkeley Fence Center right
Right.
next to it. Yeah, there's no place there to expand it. And again, a lot of the issues there, and they're going to be looking at new signage. Remember, we've got 2 other places to drop stuff. People,
I
when
know.
that is full, they can put it in 2 other locations, but people aren't doing that. They're just basically dumping it on the ground.
And part of it that they're not actually full. People are just
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah,
dropping.
half the time.
Oh,
when
I know.
Yeah, half the time when you see
Yes.
everything thrown on the ground, the compactor's half full.
Right.
But people can't get to the compactor because other people pull in and just throw things on the ground.
Can I ask also, I know that after the mattresses and other furniture items were left there, Brian said he was going to look into who were the people that did that. Did we assess any fines for that?
Stephanie, do you know on that one?
I can spook. I've probably written close to 30 tickets in the past couple months. And we've had court every day. You know, I've been there every day. We've had court talking about tickets and people have been paying fines. And I think hopefully the word is getting out that we are cracking down on this from people that have been prosecuted. But you know, I think there will always be violators, but we have written a lot of tickets for violations.
That's great to hear, Brian. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
But I mean, we've even got yesterday one of the regimes, complaining. People just show up with pickup trucks full of trash and dump it next to the dumpsters, and so we've got an issue we're going to have to look at. So.
Okay, thank you. Unless there are any more comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We are adjourned.